Hey, y'all. Hey, it's Danny.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Joanne.
Hey, guys. It's Trell, and this is
The team. You know, Becca's on maternity leave, so I'll be sitting in for her.
Yes.
For a few weeks, whenever she decides she wants to
Right.
be back. And we have a guest today.
Yeah.
We're, it is our spirituality and religion episode. So, you know, we had to tap one of the church folk. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi. No, my name is Greg, Pastor Greg. Joanne keeps telling me to say Pastor Greg. I'm Pastor Greg, yeah, and from my church is in Greenwich, Connecticut, but I'm from New York.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Pastor
Thank you
Greg.
so much for coming.
Thank you for agreeing to come through on a Sunday.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, on a Sunday at that.
On
This
the
is my
holy
nap-
day.
this is my nap time.
Yeah,
man.
Sorry to take you from your nap. Right after this, you can go to your nap.
Right.
So let's jump into it. Weekend recap. How was your guys' weekend?
I'll go first. My weekend was well. So I did some yard work yesterday. I raked the leaves. My backyard, we cut the tree down in the summer, so thank God I didn't have to do backyard, but just the front yard. My mom in the weekday, she was like, "Oh, can you help me with the leaves?" And I was like, "Yeah, can we pause that to the weekend?" So Saturday when I got home, I was like, "You know what? Let me take the initiative. Let me go outside." And I basically did it all by myself. I was really proud of
Big girl.
I know. I was really proud of myself. And I just, hung out. And that was it. Oh, and on Friday, my little sister, she has a friend. So I took her and her friend out.
They went on a date.
I don't know if I was there.
Outing?
Yeah, it was an outing. So I took
And
them.
you was a chaperone.
So I took them out on an outing and I, paid for yes. Yes.
Oh.
Because she be telling him all my business. So he billed me for therapy sessions and he was like, "Oh, you gotta pay this tab." So I was like, "All right, I'll take you out. I'll take you guys out." And then he was like, prior to, meeting me for real, said, "Now," he was like, "You're toxic. You're really toxic." So when I'm like, "I'm not toxic. Actually, me and my little sister are just alike." He was like, "No, I don't believe it." So when he finally met me, he was like, "You know what? You're not that toxic." He was like, "I like you." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
That's funny.
You must have been putting on.
Right.
What about you, Trell?
My weekend was very simple. Friday, I took a self-care day and I just stayed in the house all day and just relaxed. Saturday, I had a couple clients and then I was right back in the house because I was up 24 hours. I could not sleep. So I spent most of the day sleeping in the bed after my clients. And then I just had a couple clients at the shop. And now I'm here with you guys. And that's the end of it. It's a
Yay.
very quiet weekend.
Pastor.
Oh, my weekends are either at the office or sitting down and just quieting myself. I normally just on Saturdays I'm just sitting there quiet,
Right, because you're always on go.
always on go. I'm always doing something. I just got a new job.
Uh-oh, more money.
Shout out to Bank of America. Listen,
Right.
listen, and after that, have a 1-year-old.
Right.
Keep me busy.
Oh, she's just getting started.
Just getting started.
Right. And I told him that and we were texting this week and he was like, "Why did I wait so long?" So then I go, "I'm going to be in the same boat." He was
Yep.
like, "Wait, are you trying to tell me something?" And I didn't see the text until 30 minutes later. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You're not going to get a pregnancy announcement out of me."
Listen, she is like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh.
And she has me tired all the time. I'm like,
It'd
wait a
be
minute,
like
you're
that.
one.
She is really just getting started.
Right.
I was doing the math. I was like, I'm going to be 63 when you're 20.
That's what
This is not going to be good.
She's going to keep you young.
Right.
She'll keep you young.
Tired. She wants to get picked up, she wants to get down,
Wait
change.
till she starts climbing. And getting
Oh,
into
she's
stuff.
already doing that.
And you gotta
talking for real.
and you gotta chase
Once
after her.
They don't stop.
They don't stop.
One day she was wah, 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 just at me. Wah, 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 wah. I was like, wah, 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 to you.
She was telling you what's on her mind.
That's too
How
funny.
was my weekend? My weekend was fine. Friday, didn't do anything. Saturday, I went to trail and got some services rendered. And
Your skin is glowing.
thank you, courtesy of the Brown Skin Co.
Shout out to the
So,
Brown Skin
book
Co.
up. Then I did the bulk of Kendall's Christmas shopping. Like I'm 90% done.
Look
That's
at
good.
you, super mom.
That's good. I ain't
was
done
like,
nothing.
Let me just go bang it out and go get it done. I only went to 2 stores.
That's good.
So like I got the toys. Now I'll just go get a few outfits. I really want to, go all in on the outfits, but she ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And then this morning was like Sundays are my one day I could sleep in.
Mhm.
And so I took advantage of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my weekend. Icebreaker.
Yes.
If
So
you're a newbie.
right.
It's your first time on the show.
This is my first
Gotta
time.
break you in.
Don't
Yes.
break me in. All
So
right.
don't kill me.
I won't.
So we're all gonna come up with a word or object, and you have to give us a mini sermon on it.
Oh, great. Okay.
And I'll go first. My word is well.
Well,
Yes.
Well.
So it could be the well,
Mm,
or you are well,
okay.
or it will. Yeah, it's
Well,
well.
Okay. Well.
the verb. We
Wait. The object. The well.
So it could be the object act the well,
Okay.
or it could be it is well.
Okay. There was a woman that was sitting by the well. Right. Then Jesus, this dude Jesus came by and was like, homie, I'm thirsty. And she was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and get something to drink. I got you. She was out in the middle of the day, which was unheard of back then, when a woman was out in the middle of the day at the well where all the men be at, she was somebody.
in the streets.
She was somebody special trying to help, the men out. But, Jesus said, if you drink of me, you will not thirst anymore.
Amen.
What the subject of that message would be, you thirsty?
Good one. Next.
So we had to pick a word out of the Bible.
Whatever.
Oh, because I'm about to say that sounded real biblical. I was going to pick something else.
Well, my favorite slogan is
All is well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, either one.
So my word or object, my object was a pocketbook. At first I was like Birkin, but I was like,
oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Pocketbook. Okay. Pocketbook. And- I don't know why you picked that word, but a pocketbook, that is something that you normally carry along with you. The Bible is simple, and it says, take my yoke, take my pocketbook on, because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So a lot of young ladies, a lot of young women usually carry everything in their pocketbook. Come on, preach.
Come on now.
freestyling.
Let's go, Pastor.
I'm following you.
Let's go, Pastor.
Come on. That was a good one. A lot of people, a lot of men as well as young ladies bring pocketbooks and baggage along in relationships, which they shouldn't be. So God is asking if you would just give me your pocketbook or your weight or your yoke, and he'll give back something lighter so it won't be such a heavy weight.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a word.
That was a word.
Go ahead, Trill.
My word is new.
Ah. Today we dealt with making all things new. Whether it be relationships, it has to be new. Whether it be my mindset, 2020 has clouded our minds to think that everything is going to stay the same. There's not going to be a change. The presidency is not going to change because Mr. Trump has not left office yet, or doesn't seem like he's going to leave office yet. But Mr. Biden is saying, oh no, we're going to change all this and everything is going to be new. Yeah, everything's going to be new.
I'm ready.
I was gonna go.
You're gonna go in?
The new normal. You did really well.
You
was
did.
good.
See, Pastor?
When you just brought it up, I just was laying in bed. My pocketbook was right there on my nightstand. I was like, let's go with that.
That was a good one. Not pocketbook. I felt that one in my spirit.
You just said something. You said the new normal. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I told you. It could shift.
You said something about new normal. Normal to me is never new. Normal is just normal. I do this because I do that because. If you talk about new, you're talking about changing even your mindset about what I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And my normal isn't I'm not going to be normal if I'm new. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm new, normal goes out the window. I have to take this is not my normal way to work.
Right.
Yeah, it's a new way to work.
New approach.
A new approach to, thank you, a new approach to things.
With the assist.
That
Listen,
was good.
listen, I'm with all
That makes
All right,
perfect
he was
sense.
dropping his line.
Right.
It's your turn.
Raymer. Okay, so I have this little thing that I do. I randomly spit out lines of songs.
Oh.
So what I was gonna do was gonna get I'm still gonna do the instrumental of this particular
I'm
song.
gonna say, I know you're not about to drop a scripture because I'm just gonna sit it out.
No. But the song I was gonna do is from a local artist, and 5 years ago they performed in New York, and Pastor Greg was there. And if you look at the YouTube, the song is "I Won't Go Back." So he's in the background, jamming. And today I texted my sister. I was like, "What is that song again?" And I watched the video, and I was cracking up because he was like jamming in the background, but I couldn't find an instrumental. But this is going to be. You have to tell me what song this is.
Newer or older?
The artist is not new.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can get it. I don't know. I think you can get it. I don't really have it too high hopes on Danny, but
I'm gonna say it's up to y'all.
okay.
Wow.
Love is in the title.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you give us a hint on the artist?
He is a pastor. He is very rambunctious. He's kind of like a younger Kurt Franklin.
So it's Ty Tribbett.
Yes.
That's the only person I'm like,
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't
What
know.
song is that though?
Yeah.
So you guys are done.
Yeah. I'm tapped out.
It's been playing for a while. And
I love you
nothing's
forever.
registered.
Oh yeah.
How does that sound?
Oh yeah.
Sing it.
Huh? I love you
Oh, okay.
forever.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that from that instrumental.
I was like last night. I said, let me listen to some gospel because I know
I know that's the direction she's going.
it narrows it down a little bit. But I wouldn't have guessed Ty. But that was good. Go ahead, Joe. We took a L on that one.
Yeah, when Beck come back, we'll start.
What? Next time. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Gospel. You know I be doing good.
You do, but you be out there doing good. When you're at the table, it gets a little shaky.
Pressure be on.
Right.
Okay, so let's hop into hot top.
So our first hot topic is shifting of powers. So last week we had an election, and it took a couple days. So we didn't know the results of the election for about 4 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. So they announced Saturday that Joe Biden was the winner of the election. And still to this day, 45 didn't concede, but he kind of conceded this morning.
Did he? Because I feel like the last thing I saw, he still was like,
he said he won, and then it was but. So it kind of cancels out.
So
he won, but I'm going to take that as a concede. He said he won. He acknowledged that Joe Biden won. So to this day, the tallies, I think all the votes have been counted. So Joe Biden has 290 electoral college votes, and 45 has 232. And I'm surprised I saw that this morning because for a long time he had 214.
That's what I said. I'm surprised he won because he was staying pretty steady.
He said 214 since election night.
Yeah,
right.
But he just got Alaska like over the past few days.
Yeah.
And South Carolina, or was it North Carolina?
North. We're holding out.
Okay.
North Carolina was waiting for him.
Well, I guess. But he conceded. He's going anyway. I don't even care if he didn't concede.
You don't even
or
have
not.
to concede.
Right.
Today,
You're out of there.
You're done. You're
But
tired.
for the sport of being in this political field, it would be nice to concede. Like Hillary had to do it, and she didn't.
But do we really expect him to be the bigger person and be a presidential? Because he hasn't been this entire time. So I'm not even surprised
You're right.
at his behavior.
You're right.
Not surprised at all.
I'm surprised he did it. Right now.
Right.
Like I just thought he was just.
I thought it was going to continue too. Yeah.
But yeah, he's out of there. And
I'm sure his public advisors was like, "Listen, stop being a baby."
You playing yourself.
Right.
You lost.
he's okay. Like you say, he conceded. He won, but fraud, and they wouldn't let us look into it, and all this like
Smoke and
sore
mirrors.
loser.
Those are smoke and mirrors.
Right.
That's all that is. And he understood even election night that it was no way.
Right.
Even if he won multiple states, it was no way he was able to win because Biden won Arizona
And Pennsylvania.
and Pennsylvania and Michigan.
He flipped a few.
Yeah, he flipped a few. So it was no way he was winning.
Flipping Georgia was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
And since you flipped Georgia, you still have a lot of work to do because Georgia has to elect a senator.
In a runoff election.
Yeah, in the runoff election. Yeah.
January 5th. Yep.
So although I'm happy, I'm sorry to jump in like this.
No, go ahead. It's an open forum.
Although the presidency was won by Joe Biden, great, awesome. Woo!
He did his thing.
He did his thing, great. But if the Senate isn't turned,
Yep.
Yeah.
he's going to have
Difficult time.
Just like 44 did.
Yep. And this is why I hope we're happy he's in office and that there's gonna start to be a change, but please give the man some grace.
Right.
Because he has a lot to work on and nothing's gonna happen.
Goes.
Right. It's not what he say goes. And there's just so much that has to be done on top of the fact that we are still in the middle of a pandemic. So please give him some grace because it's a lot to change and it's gonna take some time.
Right.
Shout out to Stacey Abrams.
big
Yeah.
shout out to Stacey
Word.
Abrams.
Yes.
She did her
Whoa.
thing.
She did do her thing. And then after losing.
Even after losing.
Right.
She didn't get defeated.
She didn't get defeated.
She's like, let me regroup and see how else I could be
A service.
Exactly. That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how you gotta do it.
She didn't take defeat. She went on.
Yeah, he has to offer her some type of position.
Right.
I mean, even if he doesn't, she has made her mark on history. So it's just like, all right, if you do,
Right.
if you don't,
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking like, I hope he does offer her something, but would she take it? Like, she might feel like she could do more or
On the ground. Right.
True.
right.
Because she did, look at what she did.
Right.
Like, you didn't need no one backing you to do that. So you can do it.
800,000.
Yeah, that is
800,000
new
big.
voters?
That's huge.
Huge.
That's huge.
So hopefully when they do vote for the Senate, those same people will go out and vote
Yeah.
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 and get somebody good in there.
So hopefully, I haven't seen anything since election week, but hopefully, like she's still out there, like being active. I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
She is.
But still being active and trying to get people to vote Democrat
Right.
or just vote.
So over the weekend, yesterday actually was the Mega Million Man March.
Wait, we didn't talk about Kamala.
Oh, well, it's all wrapped in one, but we could talk. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we ain't
Oh, yeah, congrats. Go ahead.
Give her a little pride.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, sis.
Right, being the first African American South Asian woman in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Absolutely.
sis. HBCU grad.
I can't wait to see what she does. I can't wait to see what she does.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are gonna expect a lot,
Of course.
just like they did with Obama.
Right.
They're gonna, but she's been be very vocal about Black women being the backbone of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it, Eva LeBlanc?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she came back and retracted it because they always
She
do.
had to though.
Cause like
She did.
what, sis?
But she was saying like that's not what she meant. What she was trying to say was,
But
Compared to Latino men.
right.
But my thing is, why do you feel offended when one group is being congratulated? You have to throw something
Like, why
in
do you have
there,
to say
but we also have to congratulate such and such. The fact was, Black women did their thing.
Truth in number, like
Right. So why do you
Right.
have to?
Proof right there.
Why do you have to change the narrative and be like, well, also, like we can just never.
That's how it always is with us.
Right.
enjoy the victory.
Right. So of course she had to backtrack because she has a lot of Black friends. They probably was on her. This ain't the
Like,
time.
you sure you want to do this?
Read
Right.
the room, sis, read the room.
Right.
Read the
Right.
room.
Right.
Right. So I mean, it's expected.
But we did our thing per usual.
Yeah.
But we say a lot of this stuff, a lot of the cattiness is expected. But, what or how can we change the expectation?
Mm.
How can we do that? I mean, Kamala is the first woman vice president, either Black or white,
Right.
or woman ever.
Right.
So how are we changing that narrative though? How are we saying, okay, let's big her up while she is in office? Because to be honest with everybody, this vice presidency is very important
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I love Uncle Joe,
That's what I used to call him.
but Uncle Joe is old,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Kamala got a big responsibility.
She does.
Big
Absolutely.
responsibility, and we have to support her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because they're going to try to tear her down every chance they can.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. I was watching. I'm a Netflix kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was watching Becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming. I wasn't trying to prepare for today, but it just came up in my mind right now. They were literally attacking. I'm gonna call it affectionately Auntie Michelle.
Right.
They couldn't get President Obama,
No.
but they was literally giving Auntie Michelle the business.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she almost broke
Yep.
because we, as a collective body, really didn't support her as much as we should have.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion, just one person, but my suggestion is that we completely and begin to solely support this young lady.
Right.
I'm saying young,
I agree.
like I'm old, but yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I totally agree.
All right, now we're moving on.
So my next topic was going to be the moving forward, the Mega Man March that happened yesterday in DC. Actually,
MAGA.
right. So
Is that what it was?
yeah,
MAGA million march.
Oh.
Trump only got 5% vote in DC. So I don't even know why they
Why he
held
tried
it.
it.
Like why they even held it there. I would think go to a state where he really
Have some
won.
support, right. Yeah.
But they went there because I guess that's his home. And of course, he rode in to woohoo the supporters, but they were like, it was underwhelming. Like low, like not a lot of people went.
Like all his rallies.
Right.
Right.
Like that should have told you something.
I'm like, y'all do all that talk, but y'all
so
don't show up
oblivious.
for nothing.
But they probably just threw it together like last minute. If it was something real, I don't know. But no. Let me just
Well,
take that
no,
back,
because
they were just trying to do a press conference at the Four Seasons
And it was like a
landscaping company.
right? Yeah.
So clearly they can't organize anything.
Well, January 20th, Inauguration Day, is set in stone, you know.
Regardless,
So
right.
they didn't show up to that either.
They didn't.
So they don't show up to nothing, but they have all that mouth.
But they also probably held it there and named it that.
Mhm.
Like that's not a
Yeah.
coincidence. You're
Right.
doing it on purpose.
Right. So when night fell, you know, it started to get a little crazy in DC. The residents there was like, you ain't coming here to turn up. And, you know, got a little rowdy.
I seen like a couple clips, but I didn't get no context. All I saw was like clips of people. I couldn't tell what was going on. It just was chaos.
It's a whole bunch of
It just
chaos.
looked like chaos.
A whole bunch of chaos.
But where all the news outlets saying, you know, when we were out there protesting for
George
Floyd and
Mhm.
Breonna and all the others, we were like
Looters.
thugs and looters.
Right.
And all speaking of looters, I'm sorry, sidetrack. Did y'all see that in Florida that they're
Yep.
allowing the stand your ground, like they're extending it and they're allowing armed citizens to shoot looters.
Yep.
Here we
It's
go.
beyond me.
So you're putting policing on citizens now.
Right. Citizen
But now,
arrest.
because I stole a TV,
You want to shoot?
I gotta die.
And I bet you're not going to shoot a white person. You're going to shoot a black person, even if you think that he may not even have nothing in his
Now you
hand.
can't even be moving. Don't be moving.
Right.
They gonna think you stealing.
Right.
Oh my
Right.
God. But okay, back on topic. They have a lot of mouth and they don't have anything to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're so angry. Why are y'all so angry?
It is privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Privilege make you angry? That would make me happy.
No,
Right.
no. It's privilege taken away.
Mm-hmm.
I have, like, as we were just talking about it, I have a 1-year-old, and every time I take something away from her, I'm like,
Also, you think they're feeling threatened.
Because you're taking their
Okay.
privilege away.
That makes
Got it.
perfect sense because
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff is changing, and black people are in places that you probably didn't think
Right.
you was gonna see them. So I can
and they're
see
saying
that.
this is not how it should be.
Right.
This is my land.
we're shaking up their world a
Right.
little bit and getting a little crazy.
Right.
But you would think, well, I would think that we're not so far removed,
Mm-hmm.
but we're removed a little bit where you're like, you still think about this stuff? Like
Right.
I could expect it from like old white people.
Stuck in their ways.
But
Yeah,
it's-
but
it's-
y'all like in your 40s and 50s.
But it's
and-
taught.
Like that's ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
it's
It's tough.
it's generational though.
yeah.
Racism is not an individual thing. It's generational. It's like, hey, my grandmother thought this way,
Mm-hmm.
and my
So-
great grandfather thought this way, and now I'm thinking this way.
We're
Right.
getting more progressive white people. More white folk are becoming accepting, it seems like.
Well, yeah.
So, like, okay, Kindle's for, so like, our kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully.
Yeah. You think we will see a change,
Hopefully.
a shift
I would
by
hope
that
so.
time?
Well, can I say 71 million people voted for 45?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if it's going to change
Too much.
too much, but we have to equip those that are behind us
Mm-hmm.
and, those that are our babies to listen. This is how you handle somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you talk to somebody like this. Don't let them run over you.
Right.
We ain't having that.
Right.
Like, you stand your ground.
Right.
Don't
turn the other cheek now.
Right.
No. And I was, as a matter of fact, I was watching the Malcolm X documentary on
My favorite guy.
on who killed Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his lines said, he said, well, people teach black people how to turn the other cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'll say it, if, you say to the white person, hey, you turn the other cheek. Let's see how you feel. And I was like, whoa. Because they don't have to do, have to do it.
Right.
Let them get inconvenienced just a little
Just
bit.
a little
Just
bit.
by wearing a mask.
Right, let them have to wear a mask just so they don't die.
They turn it up in the store.
God forbid.
And that's why this privilege thing is such a big thing. It's like, oh, I'm taking this away.
Your supporters are
Might as well
some
get the
angry
program,
people.
'cause
it's crazy.
We ain't
Like, why
having
are
it.
y'all just so angry? Ugh. Anywho, Charlie, you rooting for anybody black?
I am. I'm rooting for Malik Senegal. He's a 23-year-old from Mississippi. He is the youngest black person to be certified as a Boeing 777 pilot,
Okay.
the world's largest twin jet plane. And usually people don't get into that role until they're like in their 40s or 50s or have,
been doing it
years
for a
of
while.
service or whatever. So it's an honor for him. And according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, as of 2019, only 2.6% of American pilots were black. So making strides.
Right.
And he's going to be using his certification to lead flight instruction at New Heights Aviation in Batesville, Missouri. So shout out to Malik Senegal, 23.
We're rising.
That's
Right.
big.
I love seeing black people in fields that we're not.
Typically.
Yeah.
Right. And then being like at the top of the field.
Right.
Like, doing not just being basic and I'm going to do the bare minimum,
Right.
but like really like coming in and like shutting it down.
Right. And because, we got to exceed everything.
Right.
We can't just be good. We
We
have
have
to be
to work
exceptional.
3 times as hard.
And it's,
That's hard.
and he's 23, like fresh out. So that's awesome. Can't wait to see what else comes from Mr. Malik Senegal.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to
I'm about
you.
to finish this communion juice.
Oh, yeah. We have communion.
having
up here.
communion.
We breaking bread and fellowshipping up here. I don't have you tried it. Do you guys have it?
No, but Trump did.
He definitely did for not
He
trying to
gets that you
concede.
tried it.
Right.
You played yourself.
Has anybody, got you twisted this week?
At work or
Oh,
Oh, because it sounds like say that. It sounds like it's gonna be good.
I can't say that.
okay. We understand. I have to hold my tongue all the time.
Yeah, I've learned how to not say what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a skill.
It is
Speak
a
3
skill.
times before you speak once.
Yeah, because if I say what I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
people would ask me the question. I thought you were a.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, Austin.
Oh yeah.
They ain't gonna question me.
No, I got family members who do that for me.
I thought you was
I
pastor.
thought you was. Yeah, can we get into that though?
Go ahead.
We right into
Yeah.
it. We right here. We have
Let's
to
get
Go
into
ahead.
it.
the main event.
No, can we get into that?
Right.
Because
Break it down.
we feel. Oh man, we feel
Let him use you.
like pastors sometimes are gods.
Mm-hmm.
Like
On a pedestal.
we put these people on pedestals like they cannot mess up at all.
Right.
Right, ever.
Ever. Like I understand and I love social media. Listen, I'm on it. When I go home, I'm swiping.
You're
my
doing something
Instagram,
'cause-
I'm Facebook. I'm doing whatever. Twitter. Yeah.
I heard in New York. Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, but some of the stuff some of these pastors doing is dumb. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You're slow. You're slow because there's social media out here.
Right.
Right. You know what's gonna
Moving
happen.
funny.
You know that if you move at 12:05 in the morning, somebody's going to see you.
Right.
And people know you because you on TV.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, they say ain't nothing open at that time but legs. So. You should be out there.
Shouldn't be out there.
You know what the missionary said.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. But we act like they're,
Some unrealistic expectations.
yeah, we have like unrealistic. Come on. Like, come on.
Like
I'm
people
not
too.
perfect. I mess up. I slip up. to keep it 100 with y'all, sometimes I feel like cursing.
Try not to bang.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sometimes I feel like cursing. Sometimes it might slip.
Yeah.
I might cuss, but I'm still a pastor.
Right.
I'm still human. Like, and we can't say that pastors are not human.
Right.
Like, they're not Jesus.
They're man.
Jesus was the only perfect person that lived on the earth.
And we die daily.
We die every single day.
And the flesh is weak.
Yo,
We
Check
saw
out that episode too.
We sound like the congregation. Like, Pastor, preach.
no, for real. This flesh is crazy.
Yeah.
We were created to literally enjoy everything on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Adam and Eve's purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
To enjoy flesh.
Whatever that means.
Right.
Whatever that means in your context,
Right.
enjoy flesh. And sometimes when people go outside the constructs of marriage, then there's a problem. If you're a pastor, or if you're not a pastor,
Right.
or any kind of relationship, there's a problem. But there's a thing called grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's a thing called mercy that we have to have with these people. If you keep doing it,
I was just about to say
Don't
that.
abuse the grace and
Then that's
mercy.
different,
Right.
right.
you know what I'm saying? If
Like
you
one time is understandable.
Yeah.
But when you continuously do it and just think it's okay, baby, it's
Now
not
you got a
okay.
problem.
it's not okay,
Right.
you got to go and talk to somebody.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
Sit it on down.
I love God. Please don't get me wrong. I love Jesus. I love God. I love church. I love all that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're constantly doing this, there's an issue with you
Right.
that you have to go and talk to somebody about.
Yeah.
You sit down and talk to somebody. You go get you a psychologist, psychiatrist. Go sit on the couch. Because there's an issue. There's a deep-rooted issue that you have that you need to talk to somebody about.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, listen, okay.
Go ahead.
My mom died 4 years ago. My mom was my world. When she died, I realized that who I am is not who I'm supposed to be. When she died, I went almost nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go see somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had to sit down, take my little hour behind, and sit down and talk and see what was really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about that 12-year-old Gregory that got hurt when something happened. Talk about that 16-year-old Gregory that, had cancer and almost died. Talk about that 18-year-old Gregory that had cancer again.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that 21-year-old Gregory that had cancer again. I had to talk through this stuff because your family members can do some things. They can be there for you, but some of those people are just going to, they might pacify the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good. They might pacify the problem without trying to correct it.
Right.
There has to be a correction, and we blame the church for a lot of the stuff we do. No, baby, no, you did that.
Right.
Yep.
It was your fault. No, it wasn't the church's fault. It was your fault.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, when church people mess up, that discourages
Other people from going.
It's like, oh, that's what they do at church. I don't want to go there.
Right.
This is why you gotta have your own relationship
Relationship.
with God, because you can't go based off of people. Because, like he just said, the flesh is weak.
Right.
People are people. Like, we're not immortal. Like, we are not perfect. So
Right.
this is why you just can't
And-
be looking to others and being like, well, I'm not going because they doing this over there. Like, and now if the church is a hot mess,
Right.
and ain't no anointing there.
Sometimes-
Something totally different.
You gotta walk away.
Because that's the thing, and that's totally different. But because granted, I don't want to go to church where the pastor is not living the life he should. But again, like, we got to understand they're not perfect and things happen.
And we have to understand also that although the pastor is a mess, and the congregation might be a mess, but we have to take what word is coming out of his mouth very seriously, because even God had to get a word to Paul, Saul, while he was riding on a donkey to Damascus. He got knocked off the donkey, and the donkey started talking to him. So it is important that we don't
focus
Because
on
God can speak to
the
everybody,
messenger, but
Right.
focus on the message.
the message. We
Yes.
have to really focus on the message, because I am a hot mess. I'm a hot pickle.
I like that you talked about like family and your like journey. Like in my notes, everybody comes to Christ at their own time. And say, okay, we're a group of friends, and say, Trell, you decided that you like really wanted to get into Christ. That could have an effect on our relationship. I may not understand what you're trying to do.
Right.
So I may like downplay it.
Right.
And it could work the other way. Like now we call it new Christians.
Right.
So now you going like the
I'm
soapbox.
pushing you away. I'm saying I can't do with you because you doing this. You said that. And
then-
we've had that happen.
Right. And it made me think about, I know we talked about being equally yoked or whatever in romantic relationships, but like you can't be discouraging your friends on their own like path. You got to let them do them. That I mean, that's
No.
like that's them. That's their
Right,
thing.
right.
And just you like what I want to say. How do you like think that people should
Navigate that.
those
Navigate that. You have to live your life in front of them.
Right. Let your light so shine that man will see your good works and glorify your Father.
Somebody is
Amen.
full of
No, you got
lights
the
today.
scriptures. You got
That's my favorite scripture.
bars. You got bars today. But my thing is, I'm living my life in front of you. All right. Okay. I'm going to probably be one of a few pastors will say, listen, y'all go ahead, go to the club, go enjoy your life. But I'm not drinking.
Right.
I'm going to go dance because
You like
I
this?
likes to dance.
Right.
I likes it. But, when it start getting crazy, I got to go.
Right.
You know what I'm
Pull
saying?
yourself away.
But I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace. Love you. Woo. But you got to know how to even deal with your friend. In any good relationship, there has to be boundaries. Even when talking about religion, even when talking about God, there has to be boundaries. There has to be a time where there's just like, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm gonna touch it a little bit, but I'm gonna back off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, a little something, but I'm gonna back off, because what you're gonna do at the end of the day is you're gonna push people away from God rather than drawing them.
Absolutely.
Oh man, there was. I like history. There was the Spanish flu of 1918, I believe. And the reason why there was a revival after that is because a lot of the quote unquote church people were the nurses and the people that would take care of the people that were going through the Spanish flu. I don't think personally that they were saying that, to the utmost, Jesus. No. I don't think they were singing and doing all that other stuff, but they were living their life in front of the people that were sick. So all of a sudden now there was a boom for churches right after that. So during this pandemic, our relationship with God has to be such that, listen, I'm not going to push God on you, but my life is going to show who
Reflect
God
it.
is.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Can you talk about the difference between religion and spirituality? Because I feel like that plays a part in it too. I feel like when I have a spiritual relationship, then I'm just, I'm able to be me,
Mhm.
and I'm not pushing people away because they're not saved and, as Christian like as I am or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like when you're overly religious, you're just like the person that's standing on the corner outside, like screaming at people just walking by. It's like, that's pushing people away. So can you talk about the difference between the two?
See, my thing is this. I studied that too. My thing is that, like I was saying earlier, in any good relationship, there is boundaries. There is something there's things that I do, but I won't cross that line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So religion for me, being religious for me, is the act of setting boundaries. And within those boundaries, your spiritual life is. Mm-hmm. So I'm spiritual. I'm definitely spiritual. I believe, in speaking of the other tongues. I believe in the prophecy. I believe in all that. But there are things that I do that if you're on the outside looking in at me, you would say he's not really religious. Mm-hmm. But my boundaries, my religion is not yours.
Right.
My spirituality is not yours.
Right.
I can't put you, man, that's good too. I can't put you in my box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of church people do, try to do.
Yeah.
They try to put you in their box.
But it's tailor-made.
It's tailor-made for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
The reason why I love God so much, oh boy.
You're getting excited.
Right?
I'm getting excited.
I can hear the organ playing.
The pastor voice coming out.
Yeah, the pastor voice is coming out and I'm getting warm. Okay.
Go ahead. Let him use you.
The reason why I love God so much is because he literally healed my body.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
go ahead.
Like at 16, sis, I was diagnosed with cancer. At 18, sis, cancer came back again. At 21, sis, cancer came back again. At 23, cancer again. 6 cycles of chemotherapy and 8 surgeries. I'm still around. I believe in the I believe in the doctors. I believe in medicine. I believe in all the chemotherapy helped. But I also believe the prayers of my mother, the prayers of my grandmother, the prayers of my aunties and my uncles and all them, they helped as well. And that's why I love him so much. That's why I go, like that YouTube video you saw. I won't go back. I won't go back. I'm not going to go back in my mind. I'm not going to go back because there's pockets, there's places in my mind I can't go back to because I've been delivered from that.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't a man didn't do that deliverance for me.
Mm-hmm.
Only God could have done that deliverance for me. Because if anybody else would have been through what I've been through, you probably would have went crazy.
Yeah.
But he built you for that.
Yep.
He built me for this.
Yep.
Okay.
That's another one. That's another message.
I was made for this.
Yep. But go ahead.
He's like, let me calm the spirit down. Let me calm the spirit down.
That's funny.
I have more.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me get.
We was talking about, having friends and some being in Christ and stuff, and I thought about it this morning how some people don't come to Christ because of fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be able to enjoy myself. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to be stale. So having fun in Christ is still a thing.
It's definitely
a thing.
And it's doable.
It is very doable. Let's stop that too.
Right.
Like I can't go to the movies. No, you go to the movies.
Right.
Yeah, I can't go to the basketball. No, go to the basketball game. Those rules that were set were of the church of old.
Mm-hmm.
because there were some things that the pastor saw that the people were going to be getting into that they couldn't handle. I'm to the realization, if you can handle it, go ahead.
Yeah. And I think it all goes to like the boundary, because I was that person. Like, I was the goody two shoes in the group, and I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that, but I would still go out to the club, but I wouldn't drink. Mm-hmm. So I knew that I was enjoying myself, but I knew also I didn't want to disrespect the boundaries I set for myself within my faith. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's all personal.
Absolutely.
And it's your own journey. But I do see, like, when you see a Christian out, like, somewhere, like the club, oh, what is she doing here? Like, it's like there's zones things you can't do, places you can. But I feel like you can just respect your faith, respect your God, and respect the boundaries you set for yourself. And the people who are around you will respect your boundary.
If they're really for you.
Yes.
Right.
Respect your God, and they will respect your spirituality.
And also,
if it's true.
And also respect the fact that you're not going to be this new person overnight. Like, if I'm just now coming to Christ,
right,
I got a whole bunch of stuff I got to work with.
Right.
I'm not going to just automatically be like this. I got to wear my long skirt down to the
right.
I'm at church every Sunday. You know, I don't cuss. I don't smoke. I don't drink. That's not going to happen. Like, we're human.
Right.
So it's a process.
Time, yeah.
It's a process.
It's
and we're
gradual.
going to always fail. Like, I've been in church all my life, and I made plenty of mistakes. I know right from wrong. I know God. Mm-hmm. I know what the word says, but there's been plenty of times I made mistakes, and I'm probably going to make more tomorrow. It's just that's how it is. Mm-hmm. I'm not, because I'm a Christian or I'm saved, I'm not going to be this perfect person. We'll never be a perfect person.
Mm-hmm. No. But you don't, oh boy, you don't want to make your process a problem though either. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be like, oh, God knows my heart.
Right. Right.
Like, I'm gonna go do this because he knows my heart. Right. I'll ask for forgiveness later.
No, you gotta be intentional with that.
Right.
Like, you really want to come to Christ, and like, yes, it takes a process. Like, it takes time for things, but you have to be intentional.
There has to be some sacrifice.
Right.
You gotta let something go so God can fill you in with something.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and I don't like that statement either. God knows my heart. Yeah, he knows your heart, but you know your mind. Like, you decided to go and do what you did. You decided to go sneak around and slide into somebody's DM. You decided to do that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't God. Mm-mm. You are a free agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're able to make your own decisions. You're not a robot when it comes to this kind of stuff. And let God completely change you. Mm-hmm. You know, the process is good. I'm in a process. Ooh, I'm in a process. Okay. All right, good. So when is this process going to be over?
Right. Been this process 10 years.
You know, like, when are you going to stop doing what you're doing?
Right.
Because you got to make up your own mind
right.
to do that. Because he's not gonna make you do that.
Can't be lukewarm.
No.
That's right.
Can't be lukewarm. You gotta be hot or cold.
Right.
You know how to deal with you. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm starting to talk.
I feel like I'm in church. I need this
Pastor. Speak the word, Pastor.
I'm starting to talk. Hold on.
So my next question is, why is it that politicians always come to the church for aid when they want to keep the church out of politics, but then when they need you, they always want to come to the black church?
Because that's where they assume that the black folks are. That's the only place. They're like
church and state?
No, like in Georgia, there's a reverend that's running, right?
Reverend, yeah.
And I was surprised.
Yeah.
Not saying, I mean,
right.
like a good surprise.
Right.
We may need that. We need to diversify our government.
Absolutely.
Ebenezer Baptist Church. Forgot his name.
I don't know the name either. Don't ask me.
That's where the black folks, that's where they think the black folks are. And if they can get the leader of the Black community.
If you can get the head, you can get the body.
Right.
We also gonna follow suit. That's why.
Right. They're gonna talk about me in the sermon on Sunday.
Yes. Add me in, sir. Add me in.
But pastors have to be careful with that too, because if you invite one party in, you have to invite the other party.
Be a neutral.
Yeah, you have to be neutral in your pulpit.
Mm-hmm.
You heard me?
I agree with that.
No, you have to be neutral in your pulpit. You don't have to be neutral on the side of the road.
Right.
So
I agree with being neutral in the pulpit.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It makes sense because you figure
because you don't want to push.
Church is supposed to be a place that anybody can come to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be like, I don't want to deter nobody else from coming to get the word because I'm so like you got to go
on this one
Bible,
Sunday. I'm talking about Democrats,
right?
So you're not gonna come next Sunday when I'm, really giving something.
And I'm trying to like reach you.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think it's cool because sometimes when people are like, I'm praying, like I'm praying for Trump or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think not like I'm praying because I want Trump to win, but praying like for like his mind and that he makes like the right choices. And I think people think that that's not possible. Whereas I think we absolutely should be praying for our leaders.
Yeah, because we should always be praying for our leaders. Like I always say, like you may not respect the man behind the office, but you just respect the office.
Right.
Yeah. Just like your pastor. If your pastor is like cray, you don't, okay to the man, but you respect the office. Mm-hmm. Like touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna pray for him, but somebody gonna pray for him.
Joe got bars today.
Right. I don't pray for him particularly, but I do pray for our government, just that they make the right choices and decisions, and that they let God lead them, because we got some crazy people
in office. And this is so
prayer is necessary.
I was about to say Connecticut. I think about like the United States, like we have a lot of liberties, we have a lot of freedom, and imagine like in other countries, their government gets overthrown, and all the changes and stuff they have to go through. There's civil wars and shit and stuff. It was flowing. I'm sorry.
Talk sis.
But just like, what do they have to go? We don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad. Like, y'all need to get together.
The land of the free. One good thing about this place,
right?
It's in the Constitution.
Right.
But you just hit on something, and I wanted to talk about it. Your calling. Like, how do you deal with like your, and at our age, like not knowing your calling or what your purpose is and trying to walk in that? Because I know, like, I'm very hard-headed, and sometimes don't like shake like you agree.
Be neutral, we say.
Right. Sometimes God could be speaking, because I know how God speaks to me, and I just be like, nah, that's not you. Like, you're not saying this is my calling. So I like kind of turn from it. But like, how do you deal with that? Like your calling and walking in your purpose?
Usually what will happen is that our thing is that when you hear from God, I'm sorry, I'm banging again. When you hear from God, and you have to listen to him. Like that's the big thing. Sometimes we are so let's see. We're stubborn. Mm-hmm. We're stubborn people. So sometimes it's like, no, God, I want to do this. Now, I'm calling you to this specific people in this specific time. No, God, I want to do this. Jonah had to get thrown off a ship, put in the belly of a fish, and taken to the place where he needed to go. So my prayer is that Joanne doesn't have to get thrown off a fish, thrown off a ship, into the belly of a fish, and taken to, and you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. When you're dealing with your calling, when you're dealing with a lot of other stuff, you have to just listen.
Yeah.
You have to listen to what God is really doing. Like any good lesson, any good teacher, you listen to that good teacher. Oh man, I've learned a lot of stuff from him or her, and that's why I follow them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Put that in my notes. Like that's part of the relationship. Like you pray and you talk, but you also like you talk and you don't think he's gonna respond.
Right.
So you gotta like listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just requires you just to
Just
be still.
sitting there and
Be still.
just be still.
That's
Go
why
ahead,
every
Danny.
Saturday.
I be knowing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Danny do be knowing.
I be having the bars on the love. Little revelations here and there.
Bar. I got you.
That's super important though, because I always have to tell that to myself too. It's like, how you pray for God, like if this person isn't for me or if this job isn't for me, like let me know. But you got to be okay
when he lets you know.
When he lets you know, you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, like in oh God. My wife and I, when we met,
Shout out to Lady Griffin.
yeah, shout out to my boo, Lady O. God literally told me that's her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, God, nah, like.
Were you praying for it? Or you just like
No, I was praying.
Okay.
I was ready to get married.
okay.
I was like, nah, she's not my type. Like, he was like, yo, that's
I
her.
got you. Like, listen.
I got you.
You don't know your type. I know your type.
Right. And it's like, it's sometimes God is going to give you what you need rather than what you want.
Not what you want. Absolutely.
And to tell the story, my wife she don't like me too much. She's not, she's like,
And
ew.
they're a dynamic duo. Like,
Ew,
how
Greg.
I always say to you guys, no, they are a dynamic duo. How I always say to you guys, I don't really know a pastor couple that really love each other. Like, that has a good ministry, but hasn't also a good marriage. So they might have the ministry portion, but they don't really look like they're fond of each other. And I can honestly say that the Griffins, have both. Like, they are a dynamic duo on the pulpit, and they love each other like off the pulpit.
Keep it
That's
100.
That's my only like relationship model that I have in Christ. Like, I don't have another like model in Christ. Like, oh, okay, they're the only ones.
Yeah, that's how it was for me with my pastor.
Don't sit here and bust my bubble now.
Let me
Go
keep
ahead.
it 100. No, I gotta keep it 100
Go
with
ahead.
you. When you get married, it is not easy. We got this Huxtable mentality. It's not the Huxtables. It's not. What's this? Any new people out?
Not really.
I don't know.
No, not really.
I don't know.
They out
No.
here.
Yeah, no, because they cheating and going back.
Right.
It's been like
Emotional cheating and all that.
All that, right? It's not easy. I always say it like this. It's like two very fast cars running directly into each other with no brakes. And you got to be able to mesh two lives together and be okay with the messiness that he has and the messiness that she has.
Clean it up together.
Yeah, y'all got to
That's a
clean
word.
it up together. No, it's not perfect. None of this stuff is perfect. Please, please don't go into marriage and saying like, oh, this is perfect. I love them. Oh, God, yeah.
What they say, you only get 80%?
80-20. The 80-20 rule.
It could be 80-20, 50-50, 60-40, whatever. It could be whatever you want it to be, but it's work.
Yeah.
It's work. Go ahead.
I was going to bring up, you was just talking, and some people say they don't know how to talk to God. Like, they got to come to him formally when they don't understand, like, you could talk to him regular.
Talk
like,
to him like
he
you talk
meets
to your
where you
friends.
are at.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think a lot of people think that like that church and Christianity, like, is like we talked about already. Like, you got to be this prim and proper person, and no, like you can talk to God like you talk to your homie. Like, look,
Right,
look,
because
bro.
he is your homie. Like,
He really
he's the realest
is.
one of your team.
And
right.
then, like, he chooses people sometimes. I think I was saying this earlier about the messenger. Like, he chooses, like, he
Say the
made
same
you
thing.
pull, like, somebody with the gangster look or whatever to tap into those groups of people.
No, exactly what I'm about to bring
Like,
up
so
again.
somebody that looks like you. Because, if somebody will come
to
in
relate
Right,
so you can relate to.
And this is like with anything. If somebody coming into the hood all prim and proper, they may not receive what you're saying.
Right.
They may not try to buy what you're selling.
Right.
So you want somebody to look like you so the message can get across.
Right. And we're not talking like somebody looking like you as in let me put on and pretend like,
no.
You know, but like if a normal person can come and give you the word, like, especially like, you know, I have the youth pastors and they tend to be more casual than, you know, you're older. And some people don't know how to receive that. But it goes back to what we've been saying. It's the message and not the messenger.
Right. Since the pandemic, this is what I've been wearing: jeans, hoodies, t-shirts. And because it's comfortable for me.
Right.
But I know how to flip it. Because I work at one of the biggest banks in America. You know, I can't go into work like this.
Right.
Sometimes things, assignments and people call me, hey, Pastor Greg, I need you to come. I can't go like this.
Right. You got to put on the full armor.
I have to put on the suit. I have to put on the robe.
Right.
But, you know, you have to know,
The time and the
where
place.
you're going and the time and the place. You
It
know,
requires.
I can't come in playing Biggie. I can't do that.
Right.
You know, Biggie was my generation. I'm sorry.
He had a little Biggie too.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is it disrespecting us?
Well, I mean, I would like to think that's a backhanded compliment a little bit because look, he's saying that we're young.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I dig that, but I did get a chance to experience some Notorious B.I.G.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. But, you know, I can't do that in certain areas. You know, I listen to Biggie, but
Brooklyn.
you know what I'm saying? I can't be Biggie in the pulpit.
Right. To an extent.
To an extent.
Oh, yeah,
To an extent.
he was a vivid storyteller. You can
Right.
be a storyteller as
He
well.
was.
It was all a dream.
It's a time and a place.
Joseph had a dream.
No, I've thought about the Jay song though.
Which one?
It was all a dream when he's talking about his dream with Biggie.
Oh, yeah.
And Eve, I mean, not Eve. God, Faith was on it.
Yeah.
Sidetrack. Sorry. Yeah.
As usual. That's our norm.
Oh my gosh! But we're gonna wrap up.
We
I wanna
are.
Thank you
Yes,
for
thank you.
pulling up to the group.
Yes.
Chat.
I'm
Let
always
the
here.
folks know where they can find you if they want to come sit in on one of your sermons. Where's your church?
Church. Where's my church? Oh, church is on 44 Lake Avenue in
Yep.
Greenwich, Connecticut.
Yep.
We start at 2:00. We're right across the street from the
hospital.
emergency room
Oh, okay.
in Greenwich. We're not there now.
What's the name?
Roberson Memorial. That is my mother's. I took over for my mom
When she
Okay.
when she passed away. Good transition, but it's a transition in itself.
Oh, he don't want to talk. He don't want
We
to.
got time.
He don't want to talk about that.
Y'all call me back for that. But yeah, 44 Lake Avenue, Greenwich, Connecticut. Facebook, Instagram, Pastor Greg. I don't know what else.
Outside of my home, Robeson Memorial is probably my favorite place to worship. Like, I love my church, but I love worshiping at Robeson Memorial. But before we wrap up, I do want to say that thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
And I want to say that we talked about this briefly before we started filming. And I really, really appreciate you coming. And I want to let you know, like, I don't reach out to anybody. Whenever there's something wrong with me, I don't even reach out to my own pastor. Like, I do not reach out because I'm like, sometimes I feel like the spirit isn't genuine and they're not going to really work on me or help me. And before the pandemic, my aunt died and I came back and I felt like, oh my God, so many things were happening at that moment. And I felt like I was going to lose my mind. And I literally wrote a message to you, but I didn't send it because God was like, you have to work on you and you have to pull yourself out of this. You were the only person I knew that I could call to help me get out of it and the only person I would call. But God said, trust in yourself, because I don't always trust in myself to pull myself through, but I may pull you through and have faith that I can pull you through, but I don't always have faith that I can pull myself through. But I want to thank you for knowing that I could text you,
Right.
and that you would be there,
Text me,
you
child.
know, to pull me through.
Text me, child. I'm right here.
Yeah, I know, but you know.
Okay, so normally Joe gives us a positive vibe to leave off on, so we're leaving it on
To you.
Give us a positive vibe.
Give
to
us a
carry us
word
through
for the week.
Oh, a word for the week. Well, working on this for this week, through all the trepidations, through all the fears, through all what's going on with the pandemic, with all that's going on in our lives personally and corporately, God told me just to tell you just to do it again. Do it again and do it anyway. Do it anyway. No matter how fearful you are of starting that new business, no matter how fearful you are of starting that new venture, do it anyway, because I am with you.
I like
Amen.
that. I like that a lot. So y'all do it anyway. Just do it.
Do it anyway.
Just do it.
All right, we signing off, y'all. Bye-bye.
Toodles. It's been real.